Men, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been on a date that you thought went great? The conversation was good, she was laughing, everything seemed perfect. And then you either get the "I had a nice time but" text, or you just get ghosted completely. You're left confused, wondering what on earth you did wrong. I'm going to tell you something that most women will never say to your face. The things that are truly turning her off are almost never the obvious things. It's not that you had something in your teeth. It's not that you wore the wrong shirt. It's something much deeper. It's a series of subtle, character-level behaviors that are setting off her internal red flag alarm system, often without you even realizing you're doing them. Today, I am giving you the insider's guide. We are pulling back the curtain on the 3 biggest, most powerful turnoffs for high-quality women. This isn't about shaming you, this is about equipping you. Because once you understand these, you will not only stop sabotaging your own success, but you will become infinitely more attractive in the process. Before we dive in, you need to understand a crucial concept: a woman's character radar. A high-value woman is not just evaluating you as a date, she is subconsciously evaluating you as a potential partner, leader, and father. She is looking for clues about your core character. This radar is incredibly sensitive. It's designed to pick up on subtle signs of a man's internal world. Is he safe? Is he stable? Is his world one of abundance or scarcity? The turnoffs we're about to discuss are not just random pet peeves. They are major signals to her radar that your core character might not be aligned with what she's looking for in a long-term partner. So this isn't about changing who you are. It's about understanding how your ingrained behaviors are being perceived and elevating them to reflect the high-value man you want to be. The first major turnoff, and the one that sabotages more dates than any other, is a lack of genuine curiosity. This is a silent attraction killer because the man often thinks he's doing a great job. What this looks like in the wild: it manifests in 2 ways. First, there's the performer. This is the guy who dominates the entire conversation. He's telling you all his best stories, listing his accomplishments, explaining his complex job. He's interesting, sure, but the entire interaction is a monologue. You, the woman, feel less like a date and more like an audience member at his one-man show. He leaves thinking, "Wow, I nailed that." She leaves thinking, "He knows absolutely nothing about me." The second version is the interviewer. This guy does ask questions, but they are surface-level checklist questions. Where are you from? Do you have siblings? So, you like dogs? He asks a question, gets a 1-sentence answer, and then moves on to the next one. There is no depth, no follow-up, no real interest in the why behind her answers. The deep psychology behind why it's a turnoff. A woman's core emotional desire is to be seen. She wants to feel that the person across from her is fascinated by the unique landscape of her mind and soul. When you lack genuine curiosity, you are communicating in a very loud, non-verbal way that you are not interested in her inner world. You are only interested in yourself or in collecting data to see if she fits your girlfriend checklist. She feels like an object in your story, not a potential co-author of a new one. It signals a profound lack of empathy, and her character radar screams, "This man is self-absorbed." He will not be an attentive or emotionally available partner. The solution: become a detective of her soul. Your mission on a date is not to impress her, but to discover her. Practice asking Layer 2 questions. Layer 1 is the what. What do you do for work? Layer 2 is the why or how. What was it about that field that called to you? Or, what's the most challenging part of that for you that people don't see? When she shares an opinion, don't just agree. Get curious. Use the 2 most powerful words in your arsenal. Tell me more. When you shift from trying to be interesting to being interested, she will feel seen. And that is the foundation of all genuine attraction. The second massive turnoff is a lack of a backbone. This is about emotional stability and the presence of grounded, masculine energy. A woman does not want to date a project or a child. She wants to date a partner. What this looks like in the wild: the most common form is the people pleaser. This is the man who is pathologically agreeable. Where should we eat? I don't care, whatever you want. What do you think about this movie? Oh, it was great, even if he hated it. He has no opinions, no preferences, and no center. He is a mirror, and it's exhausting. Another version is the reassurance seeker. This is the man who constantly needs validation. He sends texts like, "Are we okay?" after a minor disagreement. He fishes for compliments. He can't handle a few hours of silence without assuming she's lost interest. His emotional state is entirely dependent on her. The deep psychology behind why it's a turnoff. At a deep, primal level, feminine energy craves a safe, emotional container. She wants a man to be the rock, the sturdy oak tree that she can lean against, especially when her own world feels chaotic. When you have no backbone, you become the chaos. The polarity inverts. She is forced into the masculine role of being the decision-maker, the planner, the emotionally stable one. This not only exhausts her, but it completely kills the romantic attraction. She can't relax and be in her feminine energy if she feels she has to manage your emotions and lead the way. You no longer feel like a partner, you feel like a burden. The solution: practice confident leadership. This is not about being a domineering jerk, it's about having a point of view. Instead of, "I don't know," try the option A/option B method. "I was thinking we could either check out that new Thai place or go for Italian. Do you have a preference?" You've led, but you've also included her. It's about having a purpose and a life of your own that doesn't revolve around her, which naturally creates a strong, non-needy frame. It means when she sets a boundary, you respect it with grace, not with a tantrum. Show her you are the oak tree, not the tumbleweed. That stability is one of the most powerful aphrodisiacs on the planet. And the third turnoff is the one that is the ultimate character test. It's a lack of generosity of spirit. And I want to be crystal clear, this is about so much more than who pays for dinner. What this looks like in the wild, it manifests in many ways. Stinginess with money, splitting the bill down to the exact cent, complaining about prices. Stinginess with kindness, being condescending, rude, or impatient with service staff, the classic waiter test. Stinginess with praise, never complimenting her, or worse, giving backhanded compliments. And stinginess with perspective, constantly complaining, gossiping, or speaking ill of others. He sees the world as a place of problems and annoyances. The deep psychology behind why it's a turnoff. This behavior screams one thing to her character radar: scarcity mindset. It tells her that you view the world as a zero-sum game where there isn't enough to go around. You hoard your money, your kindness, your praise. The way you treat a waiter is a direct, unfiltered preview of how you will treat her once the honeymoon phase is over, and she is no longer someone you're trying to impress. Her subconscious asks, if he is stingy with a tip, will he be stingy with his forgiveness when I make a mistake? Will he be stingy with his support when I'm going through a hard time? Will he be stingy with his love? The solution: cultivate radical abundance. This is a mindset shift. An abundant man knows his cup is full and delights in letting it overflow. Be a giver of good energy. Be generous with service staff. Look them in the eye, say thank you, and tip well. This is non-negotiable. Be generous with your words. Give her a specific, genuine compliment. "I really admire the way your mind works" is 1,000 times better than "you're hot." Be generous with your perspective. Speak well of others. Find things to be grateful for instead of things to complain about. Show her that you are a man who adds value to the world around you, rather than one who just extracts it. A man with a truly generous spirit is the ultimate provider, because he provides not just resources, but safety, kindness, and positive energy. So there you have it, the 3 invisible deal breakers: a lack of curiosity, a lack of a backbone, and a lack of a generous spirit. Notice that none of these are about your looks, your height, or your job. They are all about your character. They are about being a man who is interested, not just interesting. A man who is a stable rock, not a needy leaf. And a man who operates from a place of abundance, not scarcity. Work on these 3 things and I promise you, you will not only stop getting ghosted, you will become the kind of high-value, grounded man that high-value women are actively searching for. Now, I want to open up the conversation. Men, in the comments, tell me which of these 3 was the biggest eye-opener for you. Be honest. Women, what is the #1 turnoff that I missed? Let's create a masterclass in the comments. And if this video provided value, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We're going to be talking about the 3 biggest turn-ons for women. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for your time and for being willing to grow. Now go be one of the good ones.